Fitting.
Okay, hi guys. We're here with Wade Pierce, and both Wade and I have been busy with our respective projects, but we found some time on this lovely Thursday afternoon to catch up. And how are you doing, Wade?
Excellent. Good to join you. Looking forward to it.
So last weekend we had quite the conclusion to the tournament. You had Tiger who, pulled it out, and then on the other side you had Sergio, and it looked close, and then the island hole on 17 happened. That looked like a classic case of one shot just kind of defeated him. Is that kind of what you saw?
It's pretty amazing. I always am fascinated by the end of tournaments because 2020 hindsight, we're all geniuses. Right? When we look back, we can analyze it, and we can look and say, okay, he should have done this. You can just imagine the whole golf world was just in tatters right at the moment, and then even after it, all the media just clamoring to write about this moment. But there's a lot going on. I would see it clearly. Obviously, one shot did damage the tournament, but prior to that, we could look at it. I would just look at it from an outside, like I say, a mental game coach's point of view. You're tied, so I'm not going to criticize his decisions because everyone's got their own choices and reasons for making them in the moment. But you're tied, 13 under. Playoff is good. Par on that hole is great. How many people are birdie in it with that flagger? Not many. So par is great. There's really not any need to go pin hunting to try and feather a wedge in there, but the thing that proves it is he hit one in the water. Second one he hit a little harder, and it hit the bank, and he hit it again. So it's not like he changed clubs, and then he finally put it far left of the pin. Hit it harder on the middle of the green, and two-putted from there. So that third shot was perfect. Long, which is pretty well where Tiger had put it.
Yep.
Long left. So if you push it, you're still going to make it. But if you go at the target and push it, which is what happened, well, not really push it, but the wind got it. So really, it's course management for sure. It's course management and decisions. Who knows what was within him? I mean, I have some theories about what he was doing on reasons for it, but it's a little bigger than the scope of this conversation. But that's what I see.
And then you look at the 17th, where he was a quadruple, I believe it was, with the two penalty, and then he carried that into 18, where he didn't just par, didn't just bogey, but then he double bogeyed it. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he missed a fairly makeable putt for bogey.
Yeah.
So he carried his faults from 17 over into 18, and mentally he just checked out.
No doubt, no doubt. I think that's pretty consistent with a lot of us. Look at us. We have a hole that doesn't quite work, and say we're on a roll. He's playing good. You're tied for the lead. Everything's going well. Then one little hiccup. Then two hiccups. Then you get to the next hole, and in all that effort of an entire week. See, most of us will never appreciate this. All that effort, all that energy, all that focus for an entire week to the last 20 minutes. And all of a sudden it's gone on one hole. It's pretty hard to regroup on the next hole because your odds of winning, they're gone. They're completely gone. You have no chance of winning. Now second and third's out, and when you're focused on winning for that long, and then all of a sudden it's gone, it's pretty hard to regroup and care about fourth or fifth, right? Because he wants to win, but one bad decision, and so you're correct. But his emotional state is what he took into number 18 and took that all the way down the hole for sure.
And those last two holes were very costly. Cost him what, a couple $100,000 or something like that.
Easily.
Yeah.
What I liked is Lingmerth. That guy, wow, he had a chance, and what that shot on 17 was impressive. I mean, most people say he must have pushed it. Maybe not for him. He's playing on house money. He missed 5 cuts in a row. And just goes at it. And he played pretty impressively for a guy who missed 5 cuts, never been in that scenario, flags it on 17. If he makes that, and then he birdies, then he had to force it. So I give him credit. His bogey on 18, unfortunate for him because it would have locked up second, and $1 million for a guy who's just trying to make it on tour is a pretty big chunk of money. But he tried to make that long putt on 18, which is I respect him for that. He was trying to go into a playoff, not play for second. So.
And the difference with him is Sergio was playing to win on 17, whereas on 18 he was playing just to tie. Well, really on 17 too. 17 and 18 he was playing to tie.
Yeah. He was trying to get to a spot, whereas Sergio didn't have to be as aggressive. He could have, and again, it's a course management thing, and of course, it's easy to second guess. We're all, armchair coaches from the distance after the event, after the fact. But long and left on that hole, you can't get wet. You two putt and you come down 18 with a chance to birdie still. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty fascinating. I'd like to know what a lot of people thought about that moment.
Yeah. Now, real quick, and I know this is just going to be a very abbreviated version, and I know there's a lot of emotional things going on because it was a week-long tournament or a week-long event for Sergio. Yeah. But for us recreational golfers or amateur golfers, how can you move on past the disappointment of having one shot not work your way? So not having one shot affect another shot on future holes.
Well, I would say, and to me, this is the consistent theme into my philosophy around coaching on the inner game. In his case, a little different. It was the end of a tournament. There's nowhere else to go. He had to make it happen or not. So where are you going to do? What's another par for a guy who's trying to win all week? It really doesn't matter. It's different than you and I. But say you're playing a great round and you're plugging along. You had a pile of good holes. You've got to anticipate. Most of us are going to have a bad hole. Like, I'll be going along, playing around, and then a double will come out. It's just say one bad swing. But the one bad swing puts you in a situation where it's just costly. It's cost you the stroke because that swing was so bad. But in my perspective is a higher view. In other words, I look at the entire round before I tee off. So I don't get caught in the minutia of every little bad swing. So the problem with most people is every swing's just too important. Like our average golfers, which is amazing because if you're shooting 90 or 80 or high 70s, whatever it is, every shot becomes too big for them. So they don't put it in perspective an entire round. So like Jack says, he loved double bogey in the first hole. Most people go, what a brutal start. He would smile and say, well, I've got the bad hole out of the way. The guy's not going to get a dozen doubles. It's not going to happen, right? So his attitude was positive. He goes, good, the bad hole's gone. It's nothing but pars and birdies from here. So I would say you reframe your experience of the hole. How often you get a double? Put it in perspective and go, well, okay, I'm only going to get two. Say you're a high 80 shooter. I've already got those out of the way. Good. They were coming eventually, so they're gone. So you loosen up. The point is that your scorecard can't be the be-all, end-all of every swing. Comparing every swing to a score is not a good strategy for your average, player. I would recommend you go with a higher view. You're going to have some bad swings. Know it before you tee off. Loosen up, and you'll be surprised that you have fewer of those bad swings because you're putting less importance on every single shot, and you relax. That's really the key.
Well, that's really great advice, especially for us amateur golfers that occasionally slip in a double and a bad swing and kind of look at the scoreboard or the scorecard rather, as opposed to, wow, I hit 4 really great shots and 2 really great shots and I still scored 6. Come on. But anyway, that's really great advice. And any parting thoughts?
Oh, I would just say when you're about to make decisions, and this is recapping that last week thing for your own golfing life, when you're about to make a decision, be honest with yourself. Based on your skill set, for example, it's 148 yards. Is 7 the right play, or maybe a 6 for you? Is it really because you can and you might be able to hit that shot? What's the likelihood? In other words, is it a career shot that you have to hit? Most people say, and they play with this mindset, that this one shot, well, I can hit that. They don't play the percentages. So if you would back off and relax and say, you know what, I don't need to be the hero here. That doesn't have to be my career shot on every single swing. Relax, think a little clearer, and make a decision that's more in keeping with your skill set, and you'll definitely score better.
Thank you very much, Wade, for that great advice. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I can pass them on to Wade, or post them in the comments below, and we'll get them answered.
Yeah, and you can check out wholemindgolf.com, and you probably have links around, these videos and other parts of Jay's site, so you can check out more information if you want more articles and stuff that'll assist you in dialing in your mind.
There you go. I'll be sure to post the link below this video and YouTube and Facebook and in our emails and everything for that.
Right.
So thank you very much, Wade, and that's it for this week.